Thursday morning. It's the main event. You're watching, well, the main event. And your humble host, Stephen McCollum. Got distracted there for a minute. 17-year NFL veteran Dale Hellestrae joins us as well, folks. 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. Woo-wee! I got distracted right before we went live.
I was going to say, Steven, you were ready and raring to go, and then you looked at something and...
Downhill from there.
Yeah. Good morning, Steven.
That's what you said to me beforehand.
Yeah.
I was like, what a jerk.
That's your guy. Wouldn't know without you.
No, you met him before he met me. He blew me off. He blew me off back in the podcast days when he begged me to do a podcast, and then he left me hanging. Stopped talking to me when he met you.
Wow.
I wasn't good enough anymore.
Wow.
If I had to show him, I had to become on-air talent to show him up.
Wow.
Dale, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. You might want to the Holberg show I was listening to was talking about John's come up with a new invention.
Oh,
which I think might be very smart. I guess somebody tweeted out something that was not very good last night. Somebody kind of famous.
I'll be seeing John a little bit. Do I need to invest? Do I need to go check my seat cursors?
Well, I guess Rand Paul, his son, tweeted out something. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But he went on and said, why doesn't somebody come up with, you have to blow into your phone before you tweet, if you're drunk,
kind of like your car.
Yeah, you can't tweet. It just locks.
No, because then Twitter wouldn't be as fun. That's why we don't do that.
So,
because it wouldn't be as fun.
His whole stance was, somebody's going to go get help because they tweeted out something while they were drunk. Yes. And what all drinking does is bring out your inner feelings.
The real you is
the real you.
Yeah,
it
really
makes it easier to say what you are really like.
It lets the inner demon thoughts that we all think about. I don't care if you're a far left crazy person. I don't care if you're a far right crazy person.
Or
I don't care what you
middle.
are. You all, no matter which gamut of the spectrum you go, you all think wrong things during the day.
Not me.
Including that guy. Especially that guy.
I don't get mad at
you. Just
tired
don't
people.
Put it out there. Oh my God! I got my car back yesterday. Dave.
I don't get mad at tired people. I don't get mad at restaurants.
I don't get mad either. I fume and then I go, you know what?
But if you were drunk, imagine what would come out.
Actually, I would be more quiet. I wouldn't be a vocal guy.
Really?
Yeah. And why do you seem surprised by that?
Because you're loud when you're not drinking.
I'll make my little smart aleck comments and stuff like that. Sober, I don't care. Just be like, really, this is what you want to do right now? This is the gatekeeper of the restaurant when there's 72 restaurants around you? Really? Okay, I'll just take my business elsewhere. Dale will put up with it and be like, I'm going to show them. I'm going to sit in here and spend my money.
I would say, obviously, that look wasn't directed towards me, was it?
No, I was more like, all right, see you later. I'm kind of beaten down these days, though. I'm kind of worn out and tired.
Yeah?
I got my car back yesterday.
Everything good?
No. So I get home last night. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So I know. I have to have a conversation with them. I'm going to take it. I don't have it right now because I have the rental car still. I'm going to go return the rental car today and have that battle because I rented it for a week. And they said if I get it back to them within 4 days, I won't be charged the weekly rate. I'll be charged, the regular rate. And I'm in today's day 3, so it should be fine. But I'm anticipating problems because Enterprise. I went cheap on this one, and I'm totally regretting it. Anyway, long story about Enterprise in my life. First time I rented from them in like 20 years, Dale, because I actually was accused of stealing one of their cars one time, and they can go at themselves. But I went cheap this time, did it, whatever. I have to deal that battle. But I go get my car yesterday, call and say it's done. So I'm looking at the thing. They just hand you the paperwork. It's all done. They did the recall. My car, hopefully my car won't slam on its brakes with nobody around me on the freeway. That'd be fantastic. So maybe that's fixed. I don't know. I haven't driven it. Just drove it home. But I took it in at 32% battery percentage.
Uh-oh.
I got back in at 31% battery charging.
Okay.
And in the paperwork, the whole reason it's in there, the main thing it's in there for is I can't use public chargers, and the system at my house triggers a caution warning on it, which slows down the charge. My main concern with this car. This would
Right.
be like your fuel pump not working. I need to be able to charge.
Yeah.
You need to pump fuel through your system to drive. Same concept. So I'm going through the report because they don't tell you anything. They don't care. It's done. Get out of here.
Wow.
So I paid for. I had to get an alignment because I got new tires and it was drifting barely to the left, and it drives me nuts when things aren't. It drives me nuts. But anyway, so they do that. So I pay my $180 for the alignment, whatever. Everything else covered under warranty. So I get in the car and I notice 31%. So I'm sitting in the place and I'm going through the paperwork. I get to the charging part. Did 2 software updates, tested car charges. Interesting. So I make a mental note. It went 1% down while it was in here for the day and a half. Did you try charging it? Did you even look into my complaint? Or did you just do 2 soft updates and didn't plug it in? Because it went down a percentage point. Because I don't know how it works with what you plug in, Dale, like your phone and stuff. But usually when you plug it in, it goes up a little bit, not down.
Yeah.
And it goes down because they have to leave it on to do the updates, et cetera. I understand that. So I'm like, oh, interesting. So I get home. I open up my trunk. Bloop, pull out the Chevy Charger they gave me because that's the one that's been failing at my house. And by the way, in my dad's house, when I had to do it that one time and everything, it's failing. It still charges. It just goes super slow. I'm like, all right, cool. So I take it out. They hadn't touched it in the back of my car. They didn't even look at this device. Didn't even look at it. It's in the exact same spot I put it in when I put it in the back while I was there. Exact same spot. Didn't even look at it. So I plug it in last night, Dale. Car charges. Get up this morning. Yellow as can be. Lit up yellow as can be. Tripped whatever again. Only charged to 70% overnight, which is fine. It's doable. But my point is, it's under warranty. If the device is faulty, I should get a new one. Didn't even look at it. So today, Dale, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do this and make my life a miserable hellstorm. I'm going to do it to myself, folks. I'm just telling you right now. I'm doing it to myself. I'm going to take the rental car when I leave here later on today. And I'm just going to go fill it up, and I'm going to go return it to Enterprise. And if they don't charge me the cheaper rate, I'm going to be like, all right, I'll just keep it till Tuesday. I'll do the whole week. I don't care either way, but just take the rental car back. Unless you're going to charge me for the week, then I'm going to take it for the week. And you might not like what it's like when it comes back. But anyway, I digress. So I'm going to go do that. And then I'll just catch a ride home. And then I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to sit in my car. And I'm going to drive it to 2 public stations. And I'm willing to put money on it right now. It ain't going to work. Want to put money on it? They didn't plug it in. They didn't test it. They just did software updates and handed it back to me. You want to put money on it, Dale? Do you guys want to put money on it? My car is still not going to work properly. You guys want to put money on it right now? But I'm going to return the rental car, and I'm going to test it. And then me and Chevy will have a conversation later on about the one issue they didn't look at and or both issues they didn't look at. And we'll see.
Do you want to name the dealership that you took it to?
It's probably every Chevy dealership, to be honest with you. It's hard to say one. Dare I say it's probably all of them. But Earnhardt Chevy down in Queen Creek. Super nice people. But again, I'm just going to go out on a limb here. And it says right at the bottom, at the bottom, did software updates tested car charges? Well, okay. But it's a less percentage point than it was when I brought it in.
But the thing that
What do you mean
was
you tested
happening
it?
at your house.
Every house. It's not just my
Okay.
house.
But I'm
They
saying-
always blame the electric. Oh, it's your electrical circuit. Check your outlet.
That same thing happened last night
Yes.
after the update.
Charged it last night. Got up this morning. Got in the rental car. Backed it out. Looked over. Yellow. So I got out. Walked up. 70% is all it charged to. Yeah. It just charges slower. Yeah. They didn't even pull it out and look at it. So either Earnhardt Chevy in Queen Creek just doesn't care, which, Dale, I got to tell you, they probably don't care. And by the way, it's probably every Chevy dealership because I do a lot of reading on this stuff, and everybody complains about this too, folks. So they don't care. They didn't pull it out and look at it. They didn't pull it out and test it. They didn't pull it out. They didn't plug it into a public charger. They probably, if they plugged it into a charger, they plugged it into the one at their shop. It charges. It doesn't charge the way it's supposed to. But it says right at the bottom, tested and charges properly. Really, you tested it. When the machine didn't move out of the back of my car, but you tested it, huh? You know what I did, Dale? I literally took a picture of it when I put it in there. And when I got home yesterday to plug it in, I opened it up, took a picture of it, exact same spot. Didn't even move while I drove it. So that's what I'm going to deal with today. I'm gearing up for the fight, folks. I'm gearing up for the fight. You guys want to put money on it right now? They didn't test it. They didn't plug it in and test it. The dude installed 2 updates and went, oh, it works. Get him out of here. It'll work fine. Didn't even pull it out and look at it. And when I call later, they're going to be like, well, we tested it. It says right there we tested it. You got to deal with these stupid morons that don't know how to deal with stuff. And I'm going to return the rental car, which is going to get me even more fired up about it when I'm talking to them. I'm just going to stare at them. Dale, I'm just going to stare at them while they're telling me. I'm going to drive there today. I'm not even going to call them. I'm just going to drive there later today if my car doesn't work on the public charger. And I'm just going to stare at them while they're explaining the complexity of the car. I don't give a crap, sir. I need my car to work properly, and I need you to actually test it. That's what I need you to do. That's what you need to do. That's what I'm here for. You're the expert. Test it. Actually test it.
So you're already getting yourself worked up.
I have been pissed all morning driving across town, getting ready for it, folks. Because I'm like, do I return the car? Or do I just keep the rental car? Because I'm going to have to put it back in and everything. And I'm like, you know what? Screw these guys. Why am I spending money because they couldn't fix it properly? I was willing to do it the first time. Now you didn't even look at it properly. I'm willing to bet. So we'll find out. So if you hear somebody's heads exploding, either at Ellsworth and Guadalupe when I'm at that public charger later today, or the one at Power and McCollum when I'm at that one later today testing it. And if you hear loud noises that sound like swear words, don't worry about it. It's just me. Just go on with your day, because you will hear it valley-wide.
Now, let's take the other way about this. Say you plug it in and ding, 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 ding.
And it works? Yeah, but they still didn't test my other system at the house. That's the problem. They didn't even pull it out. They didn't even look at it. So either way, I've got a complaint already. I've got an issue. They didn't even pull it out and like pretend to look at it.
Did you bring your whole charging system with you?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And flat out told the guy, it holds a yellow thing. Well, maybe it's just the car. Maybe it's the unit.
Gosh, I'd love to be a fly in the inside of your car.
I was driving to work. I was just like, should I return the car? I'll just return the car. I'll deal with it later.
You're going to do that just to get yourself more angry.
Well, because then I'm going to be even more upset if I have to get no, I'm just going to flat out tell him, you need to get me a loaner now. I paid for a rental car. I didn't ask, you guys didn't have one. I didn't push the issue. But now that you guys have failed to do your job, I need a loaner car. So when would you like me to drop off this car that doesn't charge properly and get a loaner from you while you fix it? That's how the conversation's going to go. If they tell me no, that's fine. We'll deal with it.
Steve is ready and raring to go.
I'm ready to go. I'm just ready for it. I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. It's just frustrating. I don't get it. And they act like they're all nice to you, and they just don't care, and it makes me angry. Why even pretend to care when you don't? It's not that hard.
Well, it's better to be nice to you at least. I mean, the people at the restaurant the other night weren't even nice.
Well, they weren't. They were just giving you looks that told you they didn't want you there. Yeah. So anyway, that was my yesterday. We'll see today. If you guys want to put money on if my car works today or not, let's do it. You have until about 2 o'clock today to get your bets in. Maybe I'll do a video. Maybe I'll do a thing on there showing if I'm stranded there or not, which I won't be. Like I said, it charges at the house. It's just really slow.
Why don't you get one of those GoPros? Just wear it as you walk in with that on your head.
Well, because I can't drop it off today. I'll have to wait till tomorrow to drop it off anyway. But if I have to keep the rental car and stuff, I have to deal with that. So he goes, Ann says, they never have loaners. We were without our truck for 4 months and didn't care. Oh, I know they don't. That's why I wasn't worried about it. It's just more of, yeah, you guys screwed up, man. And I had a rental car and was willing to pay for it, a rental car, but you guys chose not to fix it. So this is on you now. So you need to tell me how I'm going to have a car to drive around town because you guys didn't do it right the first time. That's how the conversation. If they say no, I actually know how to go through the chain there. We'll get one. We will get one. We will get this.
So in other words, what you're saying is, if I don't come in tomorrow, there's a chance I won't see you on Monday. So you might be arrested.
No, the jail will let me out on Saturday. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the judge is in on Saturday mornings. They'll let me out.
The judge will say, "Who? Steve McCollum?" No, I'll see you guys on Monday.
Robert says, "Can't have a breathalyzer for X. I don't drink, so I'd like my post to be lumped in with all the drunks." That is a good point, Robert. That is an excellent point. You just have that excuse when you don't drink. Papa Mike says, "I'm not taking that bet. No way." Yeah, right. Everybody knows what I'm about to go through. Every single person watching this show right now knows what's going to happen to me today, Dale.
But now, how are you going to walk when you get out of your car?
I probably won't drive down there today because I will be upset. So I'll probably do that thing tomorrow. Because I will be upset. If it doesn't charge publicly, there's a chance I'm throwing something through their front window. Remember those old discount tire commercials?
Yes.
I really wouldn't. But I don't know. We'll see. No, I'll just get out and I'll be like, I'll have my paperwork and I'll just be like, "Hey, man, I had my car in here yesterday. And I'm just curious. Can I know what updates you guys did?" You know, and they'll probably be like, "Well, we don't give that information." I'll be like, "It'd just be nice to have it for my records." And then I'll just flip to that final page and go, "All right, man. So when I had it in here, you know, this is what you wrote down. This is what I typed out, and this is what you wrote down when I brought it in here, and everything." I go, and it looks like you did a couple updates on it. And down at the bottom here, it says tested and charged. Still doesn't work. And I'll just sit there and stare at him.
With a smile or glaring?
It still doesn't work. And I'll just stare. Nothing else for me to say at that point.
Is Steve going to end up in jail?
So I'll just stare at him.
Don't touch me.
Hear what he has to say. No, it won't be that. It's just a car.
Oh.
Just a car. I talk way tougher here than I do in person. No, I'm just firm. I'm just firm. Set my expectation level, and that's all I'll do. And it's up to them to say what they want to say. It's fine. I don't have a problem. There's other car dealerships I can take my car to that want my money. I don't care.
But ideally, they're not getting any money from you, right?
No, well, they're charging the warranty stuff. They're getting money from Chevy. They're ripping Chevy off. Forget about wasting my time. They're ripping Chevy off on top of it. Yeah. Papa Mike also said, "I'd say let's make a list of all those places that Steve has issues with, but there isn't enough storage on the cloud for it." Most of my stories, I still go to the places. I actually kind of find it kind of funny. There's like, 4 places I'll never go to again? 3 places I would never go to again? There's very few that I'm just like never going there again. Osaka from the other day. Unless Autumn makes me. That's the caveat there. Classic Collision in Queen Creek. That Joe Decker guy can go shove a sharp stick up his rear end. As far as I'm concerned, that guy thinks he's saving the world fixing cars. And he's just a giant loser. And everything. doesn't realize that he's only there to fix cars. He's not saving the planet. Joe Decker down there. That place will never be gone to again from there. There's limited places that I'd never go to. Otherwise, it's just fun and games. Yeah.
Oh,
Robert says, after listening to Steven, I feel like my life is very boring. Mine's really boring, folks. It's just these things just happen. And Dale thinks I'm looking for him.
I got to say, I think at times you do go looking for him.
Ask Autumn. Autumn's with me a lot of the times. And she's like, I remember one time we were in Walmart and something happened. And I remember Autumn, I think we weren't dating that long. And I remember she goes, why does that always happen to you? And I was like, I'm cursed. I don't know. It's just my life. Let's go.
Even Walmart now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll look forward to your story on Monday, since you said you won't take it until tomorrow.
We'll see. We'll see how fired up I am today. Yeah, because you're not coming in tomorrow.
As of right now, no.
Is the baby coming? Well, text me if you're going to, because I have to plan differently.
Unless you want to move the show to 9 to 11.
We can come in at 9.
I dropped Graham off at 8:15.
8:15. Well, if you want to, come in. If you don't. Maybe we can stay on later. It doesn't matter. We're going to have a big schedule release show tomorrow. We're going through the Cardinals schedule, other football schedules out there as well. I got air miles that teams are flying. San Francisco 49ers. I hope they own their own plane. Be cheaper for them with how much they're flying as well. But these Thanksgiving games, Dale, before you take off here, these Thanksgiving games, man, this is going to be exciting Thanksgiving. You're going to ignore your family this year. You're not going to be telling your brother and your cousin how much you hate them and their politics suck and you're morons.
Turkey's dry.
Yeah, you're not going to have any of those arguments because you're all going to be paying attention to, in theory, every game Thanksgiving weekend. They're doing us good, man. They're doing us good.
Well, I know Dallas, Philly,
which, okay, Dallas might be the weakest team playing this weekend, on the whole weekend.
Okay.
Green Bay, LA, Thanksgiving Eve, Wednesday night.
Rams or
Rams, I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Green Bay Rams, Wednesday night in LA. That gets the Thanksgiving weekend started on Wednesday.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, Thursday morning, Bears, Lions, division rival, both expected to be good. The Lions finished last in their division last year. I don't think that Drew Penzing's there, so we'll see. But that's gonna be a battle.
Right.
Eagles, Cowboys, Kansas City, Buffalo Thursday night at Buffalo. Say what you want. Expected two teams battling it out, and then Friday morning, Broncos, Steelers.
So hold on. There's games Wednesday night, 3 on Thursday, 1 on Friday.
And you better have Netflix because otherwise you ain't watching most of them.
Wow.
Broncos, Steelers on Friday. Yeah. Thanksgiving weekend, folks. Just black it out. You're not gonna pay attention to your aunt, to your Uncle James over there who's spouting off about, whatever to make everybody
politics.
mad. Yeah, politics and probably religion. Knowing Uncle James, he's a nut over there. So you're not even gonna listen to him anymore. You're gonna be stuffing those deviled eggs in your mouth, not even caring. With these ball games coming up Thanksgiving weekend.
Wow.
Look at the NFL saving us from our family one holiday at a time.
That's a lot of football.
And good teams, too. Usually, the Thanksgiving games are kind of duds.
Right.
It's a good team against a bad team. On paper right now, good matchups here.
Yeah.
Like I said, when you look at this schedule, the Cowboys might be the worst team to play on this whole weekend. Steelers, maybe. But that's saying something. So that's coming up, Dale. Schedule release tonight as well.
The only thing we ever looked at when I was playing and we were in Dallas was the fact that when do we have to play Philly, Washington, New York?
Yeah, when do you have to go there?
Yes.
I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Because of weather. Because even Dallas can get cold, but it's generally a warm weather.
We'd look at December because I think this regular season ended in December
back then.
And you just want to know where you were going in December.
Yeah, how much cold stuff do I need? And stuff like that. Yeah, so I mean, I said yesterday, we all know, everybody looks at them. I'm hearing like all these other media people out there, like National, going, oh, we're the only ones that look at rest dates. No, you're not. Everybody that breaks down a schedule looks at the other team's rest dates. It's not that hard to do. I saw a National guy yesterday go like, we're going to do an intense breakdown on your favorite team's schedule. I'm like, really? How we all look at the same stuff, dude. You might look at it for all teams, whereas I'm going to look at it for like good teams and the Cardinals definitely, and then some other teams. I'm not going to do all the teams. You're going to do it all the teams. You're not even going to do it. You're going to have some snotty-nosed intern do it on top of it, But it's just funny. Everybody's angry right now. But we're going to do this intensive breakdown. Like, settle down. We all look at the same stuff.
Well, I mean, what else they're talking about? Although the NBA playoffs are seemingly pretty exciting.
Winding down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, there'll be 4 teams left after Cleveland beats Detroit in the next game.
Well, before we get into that and you take off, I'm just going to sit back.
No. So how about James Harden?
Nope.
How about
folks? I'm going to sit back here. Go ahead, Dale.
How about Mr. Beard? Huh?
Give the people what they want. Let's go.
PGA teed off this morning?
Yeah, who's leading that, by the way?
I'm not sure who's leading it, but I do know who started off with a double bogey because he showed up late. How about that, Steve?
So when you don't tee off on time and your people are in the fairway, do you just go drop or what?
No, you hit, but you have a 2-stroke penalty.
Yeah, because you hold up everybody.
But you got to be within 5 minutes.
Yeah, if you were too long, they'll just cancel.
Yeah.
Cancel around. Because technically the next people don't tee off till, 7 minutes later?
Right.
So I still have to tee off in that time frame and then catch up. But Bud Cauley, by the way, is leading it right now.
Tied with Jaeger,
I think it is, yeah. And then Minwoo Lee, Potgeiter.
Potgeiter.
And then Xander Schauffele, there, Thomas Dietrich, Sam Burns, Daniel Brown, all 2 under early today. A lot of the big name guys don't tee off till later on. Late morning, early afternoon as well from Pennsylvania as well coming up there. So we'll keep you updated on that over the next couple days as well. But no, Dale, you're forgetting the big thing.
ASU softball?
Get kicked off tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Grand
Canyon?
GCU softball, surprisingly, in this tournament. Kicks that off tomorrow as well. Yeah.
All right, about time for me to go.
Yeah, well, you're not leaving until I'll text Holmberg right now and say he's going to delay his show. Hey, stall with the comedian. And Holmberg will just respond and be like, we always stall with the comedian. It's all good. when Dale's coming in.
I suppose you want to talk about...
I don't want to talk about anything. What's on your mind?
Well, what are the Suns going to do? If they're going to trade for Zion Williamson?
Oh, dear God, that'd be awful.
Huh?
That'd be awful.
We never really touched on Brandon Clark's death, only 29 years old from Desert Vista.
Drugs are a nasty thing. Don't do drugs, kids.
Let's see.
That is a terrible story.
Yes.
I went to Desert Vista. It's lots of success there. I can't remember. He went to some small school and then ended up at Gonzaga, drafted in 2019. But, yeah, local kid. A good local kid, too, from what I've heard throughout not recently, because when somebody dies, everybody's like, oh, they killed 32 people. Really? You're telling me how great they were?
Ooh.
But I've read that before. I read that before, and I've heard that from other people beforehand. A great kid and everything. That is a sad story. But again, drugs will. Then again, if I was in Memphis, we
could talk about Ohtani. ERA of .82.
You're at least in the sport of the thing you're avoiding. I'll defend your guy. I'll defend your guy here.
My guy.
Yeah. That Diamondbacks offense is becoming unwatchable. It is stupid what this offense does. It's infuriating what this offense does.
Well, we've talked about it. The fact that when the closer comes in, it's his first blown save of the year. They do this furious comeback. They take the lead, and one of those things that it could be crushing. They're right back out there this afternoon.
Nope, off today.
Oh, they're off today. And they got the
Rockies this weekend.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They're going to stew on it a little bit. We've talked about this before, and this is what I'm interested in. Look, closers blow saves. Even Miller has struggled lately. Saturday night, he had the bases loaded and got out of it.
Okay.
Closers struggle. They do. Paul Sewald is a different case, and we've talked about this. Team fought hard to come back. It was an infuriating offensive game yesterday, and they fought back to take the lead and then have the lead to go to their closer situation. This was going to be a springboard game of you don't play your best, you struggle throughout it, but you get the win.
Mm-hmm.
And your pitcher goes out there and just blows it. Then on top of it, this team has showed some frustration lately from the manager to the players. We've talked about it. Torrey wants them to be more patient. Guys like Corbin Carroll want to be more aggressive.
Yeah.
Corbin Carroll's going to win that battle, folks, if you get my drift. The Diamondbacks are going to side with Carroll before they side with Torrey when it comes to this.
Right.
Marte can't steal bases anymore, right, because of his hamstrings. Too much pressure on him and stuff, whatever. So players want to be more aggressive. Coach wants them to be more patient. They expressed some of that patience yesterday. They fought back, got back in the game. Your closer blows it. And over the last couple week or so, even with the starting pitching, man, playing the way it is, this can turn. I put this on the hands of a team that fights through a game, doesn't play their best, and the field goal kicker loses it and misses a chip shot. You can point to so many things and you can say all the right things, but you can't tell me when there's already frustration that team's not going. Really, Sewell? This is the game you chose to blow?
It's one of those things where you look at it as a team. It's like, here's Sewald. He's been perfect as far as save opportunities.
100%.
And then the time when they're struggling, scratching, clawing, and could give them a big boost, that's the day that you can't get them out.
Yeah, that is where – and then not only that, think about Sewald's mentality on this. I've been lights out all season, and this is the game I go out there – when the team fight, he knows what the team did to take that lead.
Well, and I can tell you the other thing that really shocked me was he got Seager out.
Well, Seager hasn't been playing well either.
But he's still a D-back killer.
He can knock it out of the ballpark with one pitch, yeah. And then Murillo comes in and first pitch to the ninth hitter. It wasn't even the strength of the, like you said, Sewald got Seager out, and then it wasn't even the strength of the Texans lineup.
Right.
And then Murillo goes in there, first pitch, ninth bit at batter, game over. This is a devastating loss on a team that I feel is just on that edge.
It's
which way are we going?
It seems
mentality-wise.
And you wonder about Sewald.
That's what
I always try and defend him because you're so hard on him, and you.
I'm telling you, I'm defending him. I'm going to defend him today, even now, Dale.
But what I was going to say is the fact that you always wonder. Okay, so that's the first blown save in a huge. It's not like they had an 8-game winning streak and they're rocking and rolling.
But like you said, it was if he would have blown a save or they had a 7-1 lead, they were dominating it. That's a blown save.
Right.
This team had to fight hard. The offense struggled. It was a frustrating day on the offensive side. And they managed to get the lead. And everybody went,
What you hope and what you, in the back of your mind, you watch Sewald.
Yeah.
You wonder, okay, is this a blip? Or
that's what you have to worry about.
Is this a precursor to another blown save?
This is what you have to worry about. I watched it several times, the way he handed the ball to Torrey Lovullo. And it was kind of like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not in his mind, obviously, but he's the one guy in this situation. You have to. Any other closer, you'd be like, he'll be back tomorrow.
Right.
Could this go sideways because of the blown save? And If you've been watching what the Diamondbacks have been saying, they're teetering, man. Like I said, Corbin Carroll's openly saying we need to be more aggressive. The manager is saying we need to be more patient.
Yeah.
There's something happening with this team behind the scenes. And then that happens after just a crappy game where they have to fight back to get it. And then a day off to think about it. I'd much rather than be back on the mound today. Be back out there today because then they can't think about it. So I don't know, man. We'll see coming up here. Those are the things to worry about. But look, coaches blow saves. I get it. And it's a terrible one to blow. But that doesn't mean I'm going to throw Sewald out with the way he's pitched. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I am way concerned moving forward. Not just for Sewald's mentality going in there, the rest of the team's mentality of what they're dealing with. I don't know, man. There's something with this team. We're in May and we're having mental issues with this team. Dale, see you later.
Good to see you, Steve.
See you later today.
Yes.
Uncle Luke coming up at 9 o'clock as well. I'll come back. We'll keep talking a little bit of D-backs. Get your thoughts in there on the D-backs as well. I'll get you updated on the NBA and NHL as well before Luke comes in. A couple NFL nuggets. We already talked about the Thanksgiving games, but I have the air miles for you coming up as well. So we'll get into that. Uncle Lou at 9 o'clock. Going to be fun. We got UFC this week at the Apex, and then a weekend off here next weekend for what's that? Memorial Day coming up. Memorial Day's first. Come on back, folks. I'll get you to Lou. This guy's gonna leave us. Like he does.
Thank goodness.
And we're back here, Jake Berger against Sewald as well yesterday. And that's what I kind of want to take away from yesterday's game. It was an ugly game. It was a frustrating game overall. And to lose it in that fashion, you gotta wonder, on, like I said, on a team that mentally is kind of there as well. Robert chimes in on the PGA Championship. He says, I'd like to see the Jägermeister doing well. PGA Tour standings here. They teed off this morning as well. Papa Mike says, Snotty Nose intern. Was your intern Snotty Nose, Steven? No, our interns are good here. Just other places hire those Snotty Nose ones. Kobe was an intern before we brought him on as well. No Snotty Nose from him. I wouldn't allow it. You guys know what kind of freak I am on that cleanliness thing and stuff like that as well. So all that fun jazz. But yeah, Diamondbacks, what are you going to say on that? Devastating loss yesterday. Now, which way are they going to go afterwards? Sometimes these losses rally you as a team. Sometimes they don't. And then on top of it, like I said, you've got to wonder about Sewald's mentality going forward. The reaction from the team, like I said, it's different than a kicker, but when you fight that hard to come back, the way you played, Gosh, I know Perdomo had a 10 or an 11 at bat. Yesterday showed that patience that Torey Lovello's been wanting for, even though Corbin Carroll says otherwise and stuff to that effect. It's all something. I'm just telling you, I got a feeling something's happening in this locker room. That's all I'm going to say. Which way are they going to go coming up with Colorado as well coming up? By the way, for Sewald's sake, after the game, because I've paid close attention to the way he handed the ball to Torey Lovello, and then, of course, Murillo comes in, first pitch, game over at that point to the ninth hitter, type of a thing. But then I also went to the post-game stuff, like in the locker room. Sewald said, I felt like they were just on every pitch today. I'll go back and take a look. Just felt like they knew what was coming, so we'll try to take a look at it. That's not something you want to hear from your closer, a guy that's supposed to go in there and just dominate the game and get out of there and stuff. Not good. Either you're tipping your pitches, they're ready for you, type of situation, not good. And also, he went away from his fastball. Went to that sweeper and those pitches, and it's just like, dude, go with your bread and butter, man. Whew. Yeah. Sewald's ERA, by the way, is a 4.70 right now as well. 3 earned runs and 0.2 innings yesterday from him as well there. So, Torey Lovello, after the game talked about it as well. He said, quote, I think there were some misses with his fastball. He said, we've been so reliant on him. He's been perfect in that role, so it's tough. It's a tough situation. We just got to digest it, understand what happened. He will, and we'll be ready to go on Friday. I don't know what else Torey's supposed to say. He can't be negative on it, right? And stuff like that. So, like I said, you didn't even really need him. If Arizona would have scored, they got people on base, got in bad situations, and that's where the offense struggled with me yesterday, man. It was just, this was the first game this year where you're just like, really? This is where you lose it? This is what you do? But your Diamondbacks off today, Colorado, at Colorado for 3. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze here in a second, folks. I do apologize. Off today, 3 against Colorado this weekend. Look, get right games with Colorado. Colorado's not the bad team they've been the last couple of years. They will beat you if you go out there and don't perform to the level you're supposed to. Followed by San Francisco. Well, they'll beat you. They just beat the Dodgers in a couple of games as well. Dodgers have been struggling and stuff. So these aren't games you can just go in and coast like they have been maybe in the past against Colorado. And now you've got kind of just this, I'm going to call it a vibe around the Diamondbacks these last week or two. Then you add into it, right? Pitchers, starting pitching, other than Gallen. You wasted your starting pitcher's output yesterday. It was phenomenal. Wasted it. Over the past week, except for Gallen's outing the other day, these pitchers have been going 6-8 innings, 1-run baseball, etc. type of stuff. Dominating fashions. And when you don't win, when your starting pitchers do that stuff, it becomes a frustration inside that locker room. You can't tell me it doesn't. And I do think the hitters are pressing too much. I think we're to the point where they're trying to press too much. And I had to get out of that. I don't know. I don't make the big bucks. We saw guys be patient yesterday, and semi-worked, I guess we can say. Yeah. Anyway, that's your Diamondbacks talk. Let's get to more positive stuff out there before Uncle Lou joins us here at the top of the hour as well. Let me just check the chat here. Don't forget, TME Media AZ on YouTube is what you're going to want to subscribe to and follow. Live programming there, of course. We'll do other things on there. We have plans for other program shorts like movie reviews and things that'll be going out there. Follow us, TME Media AZ on X as well. Just our parent company on what's coming up, what we have coming our way, coming your way, what we do here, how we can help you if you want to do a show or do anything to that effect. We'd love to work with you as well. But you're going to see, like I said, we're developing I had a meeting yesterday. Go behind the scenes here. I had a meeting yesterday with the business show of, starting to get guests back on that show and stuff. And I got a fantastic person that's going to help us with that from the old radio station days. Now that that's defunct, going to come over and help us with that to get guests on the business show around cryptocurrencies and restaurants, local restaurants and things. So that'll be coming changes there, but also things in the afternoon business shows, movie review show where watch something and just throw it on and do a show, not an hour-long show or a 30-minute show, just get up there and talk about what we've just seen, because that's kind of a passion of mine as well, and things to that effect. So we do have some things coming with people coming on board as well that are going to help us that way. Really quick on NFL. Let's get away from the, as Tori says, on the Major League Baseball. Let's just flush it and move on. Unless you guys have anything to say, right? Text us 623-252-6670. And if I hear first comment on the text line, Tori needs to go. And the O is like, there's like 70 O's. I'm not counting them, but there's a lot of O's. Tori needs to go. I will say this. It's either the players or it's the coaches. A lot of people tend to think it's the coaches right now and have been for a while. That's the easiest thing to change, right? So start there, I guess. That's funny. Tori needs to go. Just a depressing game yesterday with them as well. Throw up the air miles chart here for the NFL. Let's get these couple things out of the way. Schedule release tonight. We'll have Dale, like I said, his daughter's having a baby tomorrow. His third grandchild coming into this world. Little baby Avery. So he's going to planning on not being here tomorrow. He might come in. I'm not planning on him coming in, but it depends up to him there. But I will be talking in-depth Cardinals schedule and several other teams, the good teams out there, teams I'm interested in this year as well. So we'll be talking that tomorrow as well. Now, we're not going to be all technical and in the weeds to where you're going to get bored out there like a lot of people do. We're going to make some fun, have fun with it like we do. And today, by the way, don't forget, it's the NFL's 14-3 day, folks. Yes. Everybody's going to look at their schedule tonight when it's released. Everybody in the league. And somehow their teams are going to win 13 or 14 games tonight when you look at the schedule. Oh, that's a win. That's a win. That's a win. Oh, that's going to be tough, but I'll mark that as a loss. But we'll probably win that one. But I'll mark it as a loss just because I know we're not going to go undefeated. Happy 14-3 day, everyone out there as well. Here on this Thursday. But here you go, air miles this year. This is an amazing stat. It shouldn't shock you. The 49ers are the leaders in air miles this year. Of course, they go to Australia to begin the season against the Rams. And then they got Mexico City as well. November 22nd, if I remember correctly. And Mexico City is not a small jaunt for them to get down there, especially after the earlier year. Then you have, of course, your regular schedule as well. Texans are second, though, 28,470 miles for them. Patriots, 27,000 miles. Patriots do go overseas. Then you got the Chargers, 24,000 miles plus some. Eagles. Well, your Cardinals, your Arizona Cardinals. They're 23rd here, 15,646. I know I was reading them down there. I know Rams because of Australia's second, and then Cowboys, they go overseas as well. But, just looking at teams that are expected to be good, what I was kind of paying attention to there as well. Now the Rams go to Australia, and then after that, they play here in the States. So now it's just East Coast, West Coast type of travel. Whereas the Niners have to go Mexico City and deal with that stuff. Cowboys go over to Cowboys are what, Germany this year? I don't remember, but they go over to that side of the world, right? But your Cardinals are 22nd or 23rd on this list. 15,000 miles for them. They do have to go to New York this year to play. So they do have those far East Coast games as they play the NFC West as well. But fascinating travel time here. Look at that, though. The Panthers, 8,740 miles for them. Are they even leaving? Carolina this year? Like, seriously. What's their farthest trip? Tampa? It's like no miles. Browns, same thing, 9,000. Are they even leaving Cleveland this year? They're just going to the other end of Cleveland. Don't even hit the 10,000 mark. I do like the Bears don't travel very much because I expect them to build on last year. They don't travel very much, only 10,676 air miles for them. Buccaneers not traveling very much as well, 12,185. Their farthest trip appears to be Carolina, right on top of that. So I do like that for those expected teams. Now the Packers, they don't travel very far either for a team, 12,673. What that equates to me is just simply rest and things to that effect on those low travel miles. It's the rest side of it. Interesting enough, the Vikings do go to Mexico City, and they still only travel 14,000 miles, close to 15,000 miles for them as well. So factor that stuff into when you're looking at the schedules later as well. Just like, oh, big travel time, distractions, less practice, up in the air, right? Dehydrated, you don't get stretched out. You land, you have festivities and things to that effect, especially when you're overseas or down into Mexico City. More obligations. Rio, for instance. I forgot about the Rio game, right? That's a far travel spot for that. So just interesting times there. I know earlier we talked about Thanksgiving. Throw up that Thanksgiving weekend graphic again for me, Kobe. I don't know if we showed it earlier, but I just wanted to reiterate this, man. Wednesday. Look at these games. We talked about it. Now see it. Woo! Thanksgiving weekend, folks. You're going to be able to ignore your family. And like I said, Uncle James and his spewing hatred for whatever you don't agree with out there and causing problems in the house. You're going to have some great games to watch this weekend. That Chiefs-Bills game on Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, is going to be fantastic as well. And I like that Wednesday night game, Green Bay and Rams in L.A. It'd be fun. Jordan Love, and what are the Packers going to be this year, right? We say that every year on the Packers, by the way. Throw up, Kobe, if you get a second, throw up that NBA playoff bracket here as we wrap up this first hour before Uncle Lou comes in here as well. We'll do some quick NBA talk. This is a shocker of all shockers to me of what happened last night. Cavaliers beating the Pistons last night. Overtime game. Pistons had a huge lead with, 3 minutes to go? And the Cavs came back and forced that game into overtime, and then they won it. Shockers of shockers there in that series. You got to favorite the Cavaliers. Pistons have to win 2 in a row, 1 in Cleveland, 1 at home, in order to advance to play the Knicks. Dare I say it, Cavaliers are favorites in this series now to win this series. I'm floored by this news. Floored by it. I guess that's why you play the game. Right? Now, the Pistons did have to come back from 3-2 down against the Magic, and they were able to do it. I'm sorry. Yeah, they had to come back from 3-1 down, I should say, against the Magic to do it. 3-2 is a little different because you don't have any, you have, no margin of limitations here. And James Harden's kind of woken up. So Cavaliers, Pistons, they play Friday night, tomorrow night. So we'll talk a little bit about that here. Can the Cavaliers close it out? Can the Pistons stay alive? That was a type of loss for the Pistons. You have to worry about their psyche moving forward as well. Had that game won with 3 minutes to go and lost it in overtime. Got to worry about the Pistons psyche. I told you before as well. I told you before that the Timberwolves-Spurs series, in my mind, Timberwolves are winning that series. Spurs are winning that series. I don't think the Timberwolves are going to win again after being 2-2. And I still believe it that way as well. No NBA games tonight, by the way. They both play on Friday night. I do think the Spurs close out that series tomorrow night. So we'll talk more about that tomorrow on Friday as well, because Thunder and Knicks are just sitting around waiting. And then throw up the NHL playoff brackets for me, Kobe, before we get Uncle Lou in here as well and talk some UFC fighting and NHL playoffs. Colorado closed out Minnesota last night. Minnesota had a 3-0 lead there in the first period. Colorado had a comeback in that game, 3-3 overtime. Colorado sneaks it into the net. Colorado moves on. Not a surprise. Just the meltdown from Minnesota last night, I think, was kind of a shocker to me. But not a surprise, Colorado's moving on as well. Tonight, 2 excellent games. So Carolina and Colorado are now waiting. Can the Knights close out the Ducks tonight is the big question here in Anaheim. And Buffalo-Montreal, who takes the 3-2 lead tonight? These 2 series have been fun, exciting to watch. No Diamondbacks tonight. I'll employ you. No NBA tonight. I'd employ you to tune into some hockey tonight. You're going to have some fun with both of these games, I do believe. We'll talk with Lou about that coming up here, of course, when he joins us. And when we come back here, second hour main event here on this Thursday. D-backs off today. PGA underway. No big names really other than Schauffele there on the leaderboard, but we'll keep our eyes on that. Uncle Lou coming up next. Come back, folks.
Whatever you think.
Tell Uncle Lou I have big ideas. Got to figure out and stuff. But, of course, Thursdays mean Uncle Lou, VSiN. You can catch him as a contributor on VSiN Network, VSiN Live as well, and then Gamblu.com, his own website. Then, of course, at Gamblu on X as well. Lou, before we get into it, how you doing, man, on this Thursday?
I'm doing great. It's a great time of the sports year. I always love these weekly visits with you, Steve. It's great, and I'm tickled to be here.
Absolutely. And I'm glad to have you. You know that. Love having you here because it just kind of breaks up the show, and we get to talk from a gambler's perspective on things instead of us just being fans and stuff. NFL, before we get into your intro, because we're going to do that because of what you support and stuff, but just really quick, NFL schedule reporting day here. Nowadays I call it the 14-3 day out there. 15-2 day for all the fans out there.
I see.
Everybody tonight's going to look at the NFL schedule when it's released and go, win, win, win. Oh, well, that one's going to be a tough one. I'll mark it as a loss, but we'll probably win that one. But I'll do that as a loss. And every team in the league is going to have 15-2 records tonight by their fan base.
Well, that's funny you mention that because honestly, that's it. That is how it works. And consequently, in my side of the business, when they put the numbers for season win totals up in Las Vegas, they know that. If you count up how many games there are in 32 teams times 18,
a lot.
And then you count up the over-under numbers next to that, you're going to find that the over-under numbers are higher than there are games played in the season. Why? Right. Because if you're going to take the over, you're going to pay a tax. Vegas knows that they're light years ahead of you, so don't think you're getting any edge or anything. I'm glad you said it that way because that's how
I set you up for something I didn't even think about.
That's how I look at it because at this time of year, my NFL season only just begins after the draft, so I can honestly say that even though I'm focused on college baseball and hockey playouts right now in UFC, there is the NFL that's going to be active. That'll become way more active the month of July.
Yes.
But we're getting into it. We've had an unbelievable 2 weeks of May here as far as temperature in Phoenix. It's been awesome. The heat's coming. Bring it. I
Weekend
love it.
weekend was a little rough.
Hey, bring the heat. I love it. I want it. But it's been nice up until now. So there's that. Our table's set.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot to talk about here with the schedule release. I didn't even think about that angle of because how many people are going to go through the schedule tonight and go, like I said, I jokingly say 15-2, but everybody's going to be high, right?
Yeah, I won't even look.
Yeah,
at,
and then
they publicize it everywhere, but I won't even.
But how
look
many
at
people
that.
are going to look at that and go, okay, I have them at 10. Oh, Vegas only says they're going to win 8. I got to take that over tonight.
Well, you're gonna. Oh no, believe me, if you listen to the networks, VSiN or Sports Grid, what do they have to do? Well, first of all, they're sponsored by sports books.
Yes.
Sports books thrive by having people make bets with them, and so they're trying to encourage their speakers, their on-air personalities, to encourage betting. That's all it is. And this time of year, there's so little that they do anything they can with NFL. Listen, if you're going to bet an NFL bet right now, and it's anything under than a season total win under, and you have what you think is some information, God bless you. But any other bet than that, to me, is folly for too many reasons. We'd be here our whole hour discussing. Just trust me, don't do it.
Yeah.
Watch, learn, listen.
I just don't want to. Well, there's so many unknowns still, and then injuries, coming up.
And injuries can only help you if you're on an under. And you know how I know that? Because I go through things the hard way.
You learned this lesson.
They call it the hard way because it's the hard way.
Well, like I was thinking about it, while you were talking there, like Patrick Mahomes coming off this knee injury. You don't even know if he's going to be ready for week 1 yet. So if you're looking at anything on the Chiefs side of things, it's just like, what are you doing? But I don't know. I didn't even think about that angle on it. That's why we have you on, Lou. You opened my eyes up on that side of it.
Well, Mahomes is a different thing because you just gather information, and anyone knows he's trying to be Superman and overachieve.
Yeah.
What's he going to do as a mature quarterback? He's liable to do it too quick. I hope he doesn't, because usually you got to protect the athlete from themselves.
Yeah.
If anything, if they bring him back and he's back quick, I'd look for a little different offensive presentation where he would be a little bit more captured in the pocket, if there's any way to do that to a kid like that. We'll wait and see. But but that all comes in time. We have college baseball.
Yes.
We have puck passion in the heat of battle right now. We've got UFC. This is like the 14th straight week I've had a UFC card. Next week I get a week off.
Yeah, and it's a holiday weekend too. So Lou, you can go to wherever you want to do next weekend.
Week?
Memorial Day. Yeah.
Wow.
So I know it's early this year. It's usually end of May, but that's next weekend.
Yeah, that's
next week as well. From that. So, well, look. Before we get into the baseball and that stuff, tell everybody where they can find you. Anything Apex fight this week, of course, just came off of the numbered event in New Jersey. We're going to talk a lot about today, especially that main event there as well. But tell everybody where they can find you, what you do, all of the fun stuff.
Yeah, I forgot. No.
Uncle Lou here, folks. I can do the spiel for you if you like.
Uncle Lou's a long-time opinion maker in the sports game before it was vogue, when it was looked down upon. I seemed to be able to do pretty well at it, and I always gravitated towards it. I had older people that I hung around with that's what they did, so it was easy for me to try and do it too. And so now you fast forward a bunch of years, and I am a real estate professional here in Phoenix, but I still follow my passion, which is trying to derive profit from betting on sporting events. I only select a few sporting events. I have a webpage called Gamblu.com. And at Gamblu.com, you go to the top band, you can find everything about me that you want. And what I always pass up is my podcast. So,
yes.
Kobe will scroll down. I do 2 podcasts a week. One on Sunday night is called the Sneak Teep Podcast, and it's a look at the opening lines for that week's UFC card and any changes or thoughts I have early in the week. Then on Friday, I do the Bout Business Podcast. That's the final releases for that week's UFC card. If you are interested in a 7 to 9 minute podcast that has nothing to do with anything except trying to derive profit from betting on UFC fights, then this isn't your podcast. But like about 275 to 300 and a quarter. Last week it was 3 and a quarter because it was a numbered event. But some 325 people for big events tune in to About Business and listen. And those people are, believe it or not, from like 7 countries, which is very flattering. And the other thing is they're gambling on the UFC. That's all you would listen or do with my podcast. So there's too much time on the podcast.
To be fair, I did a little bit of gambling last week on just having some fun on the UFC fight, but I went to a get together. I listened to your About Business podcast, and it allowed me to spew some stuff to the kids that thought they knew everything, and I looked like a genius on a couple of them because of it. So I just want to point that out too. Lou will make you
we don't
look
win
like a
them
genius.
all, but I'm pretty sure I had a great week last week, actually.
Well, before we get into the UFC, and don't forget.
I had a big week last
I was
week.
gonna say you should have if you did.
yes.
If you put money down on what you said you wanted.
Oh,
to.
no, I know.
There were some big numbers
I'll
last week.
explain how we
won.
had it. If you listen to About Business, you know that I had about 1.4 units on Shemaev to win 1.4 units. It was the perfect setup by which to take Strickland. And I told people, listen, I'm going to, and I know I do
Play
realize.
both sides of it. Yeah.
I said, we're going to come back on Strickland, just look for my message. I never did send the message, but most of my listeners don't need me to trigger them. They knew what we were doing. And so that was a real fun one right there.
Oh, yeah. But then earlier in the fight, too, I went a plus 450 early in the day. As well early in the fight.
If you got
card,
that number, you got the absolute best, and that's half of the battle. And I don't want to. There's a lot to talk about with that fight that we'll say.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. But hey, really quick, don't forget you support a cause that I will not let you get out of here without supporting it, Kobe. If you could put it back up for us, San Xavier Del Bach Mission as well. Just talk about that and how you support them and everything, because this is the important side of what we do, Lou.
Yeah, I try and draw a little attention to the oldest mission in the United States, located just a couple hours south of Phoenix, here south of Tucson, called the San Xavier Del Bach Mission. They're doing unbelievable work there, and they have since the late 1600s when this mission was built and erected. And so they're doing great work. We've been an active contributor to them. I've included a link that Kobe's flashing right now that you can see there. There's information about the mission on my page. You can go directly to them if you would like to, but we really support them. They're doing great work, and Steve lets me mention it every week.
Absolutely. And like I said, you're not getting out of here without doing that. You can forget everything else. We're doing that regardless.
That's the most important thing.
But, then going into college baseball here, right? We have the conference championships starting here this week. As well, a lot of them starting out there. So SEC, ACC, which they're dominating the top 25s right now. Big 12's getting underway here. Surprise coming up here. Mountain West is playing over at Sloan Park in Mesa for their conference championship. So if you want to see some conference championships, look up those schedules. But, so a lot will change. So I know you've talked about it before, but conference championships are an interesting thing in college baseball because if you're going to be a 1 seed or a 2 seed already, sometimes you're not interested in winning your conference championship and blowing your arms out, etc. like that. So how do you play these conference championships before the super regionals, the regionals and super regionals and that stuff?
Yeah, I don't. I'm studying. There's guys that play all as soon as college baseball, they're betting it. If you follow their record, you understand why you don't hear much from them. Okay, it's hard. The college game has intricacies, and really, I'm not going to start betting them until we get to money time. And money time to me is the regionals, which there's a field of 64, just like the basketball tournament. Now, these are all the tournaments conference coming in before. And so you mentioned 2 conferences were here.
SEC. Big 12 is up in Surprise. Mountain West plays, I believe it's Sloan Park, but they're over in Mesa.
So Big 12 doesn't have anybody that's a shoe-in for 1 through 8, nor does Mountain West, of course. Okay. So we're not going to see hanky-panky there. Every team playing there is playing to try and win that conference because they want to get seeded in 64. So you have integrity here. But when you go to SEC, when you go to ACC, you have layers of, a team like Texas is on top, or you go the best
Florida
example.
State.
What conference is UCLA in?
Big 12. Big 10, excuse me.
The Big Ten.
Yeah.
That's here. That's what's here.
No, that's
okay.
not here,
So the
yeah.
Big Ten. So UCLA is going to be a 1 through 8 seed.
Yeah, they're in.
And so when they go deep in the tournament, if they go deep in the tournament, are they going to try and win the tournament and use all their aces' arms one week when the next week the regionals start and they're going to be at home? Oh no. So there's a lot to understand. I don't think you have to be in a hurry to bet it. I like to bet it when the regionals start because then I have a bracket. I can see who's set up against who, check my odds. If you go back numerous weeks in Gamblu, you'll see there's a futures article, and I have probably 5 or 6 college futures from there. You'd have to look at them now to see if they make sense now, because teams like UCLA and North Carolina, who are 1 and 2, their odds are way shorter now than they were when we took them at the beginning of the year.
I think UCLA was one of your future ones, if I remember
So
correct.
was North Carolina.
Were they? Okay.
Yeah, no,
because UCLA, nobody expected
We're all
UCLA to
over
turn
this
into
thing.
what they thought they would be, man. It was.
Well, we had them, and I think we have them at.
But you didn't have them as dominant. I don't even think maybe you did.
No.
Did anybody have them as dominant as they are? But you did have them.
I have them to win it all.
Yes,
So I had them as the 5 or 6 teams I wanted to bet on. Dominant, I don't know.
Interesting enough, you said UCLA is going to be probably the number 1 seed going into this thing. Like you said, North Carolina as well. Just to throw it out there. Now, go ahead.
Then what? Texas maybe?
Texas, and then it's a bunch of AC like Florida State, depending. I think a couple of these schools do have to show something in the conference tournament to get those higher seeding as well. But just for everybody locally knows, Arizona State right now, I think they're going to make the tournament. They probably have to win a game or two in the Big 12 tournament, but I think they're going to make for a decent seed. But right now they have them projected in the Corvallis, Oregon bracket here on the regionals. Oregon State, Ole Miss, Arizona State's the 3 seed, and then Niagara after that. So that's where they're projected to go in right now.
I hope they don't go that.
That's going to be tough, right?
I mean, Mississippi is tough, and Oregon State. That's
at Oregon State, no less.
That's brutal.
Right? Yeah, Niagara. Then it's like, we'll throw Niagara in there if they win.
Oregon
their conference.
State's one of my teams.
Yeah, they're always up there.
Oregon's
as a
a
staple,
team.
So.
I think. Did I take both? Maybe just Oregon.
I can't remember. I was trying to remember yesterday. To be honest with you, your take on Oregon.
One of the bums is LSU.
Yeah, you did, but you did like Oregon State. Oregon, I was
definitely had Oregon.
Trying to remember. So that's where Arizona State's slated as of now. And it's like, woo, do yourself.
The good news is that's Aesop's fables. These guys don't know jack squat.
Yes. Yeah. So that's where we stand there. But those are starting. I just wanted to get your take on it because when we come back next week, a lot of these conference championships will be in the heat of it, or a couple of them wrapped up as well.
Oh no! Does it take a whole week? I think it's just a long weekend. Monday,
that's what I mean. But I think
know.
I think a few start this weekend, and then a couple start, and then a bunch next weekend as well. So
because the regionals start here pretty damn soon.
Yeah. Okay. So 19th through the 24th is the SEC one. That's in Hoover, Alabama.
Yeah. Then the next
ACC's
week
is the 19th through the 24th in North Carolina as well. No, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm a week off. They're all next weekend. It looks like all the big ones are next weekend.
So the regionals start when?
The following week. Selection show is Monday the 25th. Regionals are the 29th through the 31st.
So normally when we would think it would be late Memorial Day is when they
Memorial Day is early this year.
Right at June 1st.
That's what's screwing me all up, man. Memorial Day.
Whatever.
So early.
Whatever. When they schedule them, that's when I got to work. So
that's the thing. We have to show up.
That's why I
want
to know what the schedule is, so I understand what I'm going to be doing.
So if a team like UCLA loses in the regionals, like let's say early. North Carolina, Florida State, they lose early. Nothing to freak out about.
I don't think they want to lose early, but you got to understand they'll probably be two games in a bye, so they'll make other teams play each other to get to them. They win one game and lose in the semis or in the finals. It's a very select few, but you got to be paying attention to this because they may or may not use their ace depending on what their motivations are.
Resting them up for
a lot of speculation about that.
Absolutely. So then
here's another thing.
Oh, go ahead.
These college teams, they talk about home runs and power and everything because that's what gets them to Omaha. Gorilla ball. But once they get to Omaha, that all changes. And not a lot of people know that about college baseball, but we do here. You keep listening and you'll understand what happens when it goes from regional and super regional home field, small little teeny crackerbacks box ballpark like North Carolina. Then they go to cavernous Omaha, Nebraska, where the wind's blowing in at the teeth of the batter. It's a whole different game.
That's the wind catches you off guard.
Whole
there, even with
different
the new
game. Just
stadium.
like NHL playoffs are different than the regular season. Once you get to the College World Series, if you're not prepared to play small ball, bunt the ball, you're at a disadvantage.
So stay tuned here over the next couple of weeks. Follow Lou also at Gamblue as well as he puts stuff out there on X as well. But Lou, in the NHL side of things, we have 2 series remaining. One could be closed out tonight if Vegas is able to beat the Ducks tonight there in Anaheim. Then Buffalo, Montreal tonight as well. They're fighting for Game 5 tonight. Before we get into those two, Colorado closed it out against Minnesota last night. I'm curious on what your thought was going into that Minnesota game because everybody's been betting home teams heavily in the NHL. We've talked about that the last couple of weeks. And then Minnesota had that big lead. Colorado had to come back and win the game in overtime and stuff like that. What was the thought process going into that game last night? Out of curiosity,
Mine,
yeah,
that it was a potential series clinching game, and I thought that because I've been doing this for 40 years, and my model was screaming Minnesota. Okay, Minnesota opened last night 171. They closed. Minnesota opened plus 171. They closed like plus 195. Look, the bookmakers knew they were going to need Minnesota. They opened it with that in mind, knowing that they were going to get Colorado money. It still moved 20 cents. So
yeah.
my model was screaming Wild, and I wanted to play him, except in my experience, my model hasn't been successful in series clinching games. And so this was a series clinching game. I'm usually on the road team. Minnesota's the road team, playing for a lot. And you know what I decided to do? We've done it two nights previous to this. I passed, and we end up being beneficiaries of it. So I said just what I told you. I told my guys, hey, model says Wild, but my experience says, no, we're going to pass. Sometimes the best bet's the one not made. So I'm sitting there watching that game, and for 55 minutes, I'm feeling like the biggest, stupidest, teeny tiny little testicle dude in the whole wide world. Why didn't you just go ahead and play it? All the metrics were right. And then everything happened to change it. And now, I have even more momentum because now 3 of the nights I've passed, it's worked to our favor, and so we hold great momentum. We've lost a couple futures. We had the Wild, if you go back to that article. So we lose a unit last night on the Wild. We lost a unit on Tampa last series, but we have Montreal at 14-1, which is alive. And then we have some others. We had Montreal and Buffalo to go 6 games at plus 220. We had Montreal and Buffalo to go 7 games at plus 220. Well, it's 2-2. We've won one of those bets, which means we cleared a unit plus 1.2 units either way. We also had Buffalo to win the series 4-2 or 4-3, and those were 5-1s. And we have Montreal to win 4-2 and 4-3 at 5-1. So 3 of those are going to lose for a 3-unit loss. But one's going to win at 5. We'll pick up 2 there. So we pick up 2 there and 1.2 below. That's already won. It's in our pocket. But the series isn't over, so I haven't counted it in our total yet. But we're 28 and 24. We're up 5.5 units, about a 19% ROI, and we're about to add 3 or 4 more units with that. So we're having tons of fun. It's a hugely different year this year than last, and I don't know what was different except how much mental power I put into hockey this year because of what happened last year. But I seem to be seeing the ball right now pretty good, but that makes makes me seeing the ball good up until today. It's what have you done for me lately?
Exactly.
We got a game tonight.
Can go away
We've
tonight
got
with
two
both
games.
of the games
We've
tonight.
got two
yeah.
games tonight. Yeah,
It starts off with Montreal Buffalo. I can't get my hand around this series. Either one of these guys can win this series. It's back and forth in my eyes. These are very even teams, meaning Buffalo and Montreal. I'm just enjoying this series, things like that. So how are you looking at this going into tonight's game here with Buffalo and Montreal where I just throw my hands up and go, this is just fun.
When Buffalo won the first game, we took them to win the series in a parlay with the Ducks plus 1.5. Both of those are on edge and in play tonight. If Anaheim wins tonight, we automatically win that side. And the Buffalo to win was really a hedge because I know I got a unit coming in on Montreal if they were to lose. So what I'm saying by using that parlay is I hope to lose the Buffalo parlay because I want the Montreal 14-1 to live into Carolina. I think Montreal sets up really, really good with Carolina. And I think the difference between Montreal and Buffalo is just simply 1 year. Buffalo's first year is this year, and Montreal's first year was last year. They got beat up, bloody-nosed, figured out what the playoffs were. Now they're here, and they're dangerous.
And at tonight's game, Montreal's plus 102 on the money line. Sabres are minus 122 at home going into tonight's game as well, and they're tied 2-2. So obviously the winner of this game tonight's, turns into the favorite, I guess you can say. With
the odds will game 5 in a 7-game series. Winner of game 5 got to be 75%.
Yeah, I Dale said it the other day, and I can't remember.
They'll tell us in the NHL network.
Yeah, it's 75-80%. It's ridiculous
big.
How big it is in hockey.
It's big, and you want it.
And you got the Knights up 3-2 over the Ducks. This is what's interesting to me. The lines tonight: the Knights on the road in Anaheim. The Knights are minus 112 favorites. Well, the Anaheim Ducks are minus 108.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the best series. I think I've had so much fun with this series. Ducks are in play tonight on this, but with that numbered line there, how are you looking at this game tonight?
I'm looking at it as a great game.
Sit back and watch.
Yeah, I mean, you got again. Anaheim's like Buffalo. They're both like
so
Montreal last year.
Yeah,
but Anaheim's shown such great grit. You love Quenneville, the coach. The guy's an old salty cat. And then you got Torts, who is Belichick and Parcells behind the Vegas bench. It doesn't get any better. These numbers won't be the same when you look at this thing today at 3:00. When you look at this thing today at 3:00, Buffalo going to be minus 130, and you'll be getting plus money on Montreal. And then when you look at the game tonight, it should be interesting. I expect some Anaheim money.
I that's what I was going to ask you, because I expect Anaheim money tonight, being the home team. People are betting on the home teams there as well, and just the way they play at home on top of it. I think it's going to be interesting to see. But I'm looking forward tonight. It's no Diamondbacks. No NBA basketball for those of you that like that. Sit back and watch.
Home teams, by the way, 31-31 in the playoffs. So it's not like you're at home and it's an automatic.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun coming up on that. Really quick here, since we got that wrapped up, before we go into the UFC, hit some comments here as well. First
of
all,
we don't take comments.
Well, this one you're going to want to, because I have the same question, actually. From Robert. But before we do that, Papa
Robert,
Mike.
He's got carte blanche.
Oh, yeah. Papa Mike says, I overinflated wins for the Cardinals when I was a season ticket holder, meaning the schedule release. He goes, these days I don't find more than 5 wins ever for them. He's not wrong. We'll see tonight.
He's a realist.
But Robert's big question is about college baseball, because this new thing has happened in college baseball where, like, ASU canceled the GCU series, right? Or the GCU game the other night. Doesn't help their RPI at all. It will hurt if they lost it. So do teams backing out of their games with lower-ranked teams that won't help their RPI in college baseball, does that impact your handicapping at all going forward on these teams, that they back out of those games?
No, because they can't back out of tournament games in their conference. So I don't really that they can jockey players, pitchers, or games all they want, but there comes a time where one team got to beat the other, and that's come regional time, and so that's what I'll wait for.
Yeah, and that's what it's stuck into baseball now, where you're just like, oh, that's not going to help our RPI if we beat them.
Well, this
But
college,
if we lose it, then it'll hurt us. So we'll just cancel that game. It's like what?
yeah, but I mean, isn't that also in basketball
Yeah,
and
that's what I mean.
football? It's all across college.
It's creeped into baseball. That's what I'm
College,
saying.
college is really. I don't bet anything college except baseball because of the purity of it. And now it looks like the dog's raising his leg on part of baseball's bush.
Also, Papa Mike gives you a compliment. He goes, "Oh boy, I'd have such a headache if I put all this thought into it." He goes, "Lou, thanks for doing it for us."
Oh, that's what I do. Thank you. It's my passion. I've done it my whole life. I was taught how to do it. And,
Yeah, you've
and
changed
sometimes I'm really good.
Yeah, you've changed my perspective on how I look at things as well. I go, what would Lou think tonight on this type of a thing? And then sometimes, like the Montreal Buffalo series, I just throw my hands up and go, I don't even know. I'm just going to enjoy watching this thing.
I mean, I wish I had a crystal ball and I could tell you exactly who would win, because if I could do that, I'd be about 95%.
Lou, I probably
But
wouldn't
I
be here
can't do
tomorrow
that,
because
yeah.
of the money I'm collecting tonight after I
hey,
win.
it's tough. It's tough. It's one of the toughest things to do. I quit playing golf at a 10 handicap to do this because I believe this is tougher to beat than become a good golfer, and that's debatable. Listen, becoming a really good golfer is the hardest thing to do, period, I think. This is right there with it.
Yeah, one last thing on the NHL that just popped into my mind I wanted to ask. Carolina's been sitting for a while. Carolina's going to sit for a while longer here as well. Does that make you concerned about them in a game one or just in the whole series in general?
Yeah, I would be really concerned for the first game and a half for that team.
Yeah.
But knowing their history and knowing that that's a team that throttles it all regular season long, plays in the playoffs white knuckle, they drowned you with lack of space, and they run out of legs and gas and size and grit in the playoffs the last couple of years. This rest could be just exactly what they needed. And so because the rest does not help them in game 1 or 2. No, it helps them in game 5,
Yeah, the
6,
late
7,
series.
and then a next series should they get one. And the same thing for Colorado. You got a rested Colorado and Carolina that look like they're setting up for each other real good. I just think Montreal might have something to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to that final if it happens because it's just two dominant teams out there that can do a lot of scoring. Carolina can do a lot of scoring. Colorado can, but they can also beat you 1-0 and everything. And I got a new respect for Brendan Moore there in Carolina, man. I've never been a fan of his as a player or as a coach, but I got a lot of respect for this guy. He is one of the best coaches in the league, and it's just an amazing thing to watch from that Carolina bench.
He was a great player. He won a cup for Carolina.
Yeah.
He's a perfect coach for
He's like
anybody,
he's
really.
responsible for like something like 97% of Carolina's playoff wins.
Yeah, no, he's
As a player and a coach,
he's a sicko. He's a sicko.
he's their good luck charm, I guess we can say.
Well, he hasn't been the last 2 years in the playoffs. Let's see what happens this year.
That's issue number 2, right? But hey, 2 games tonight, hockey. Tune in; it's going to be fun. But Lou, let's take our break. Come back. We got to look back at that numbered event last week because I thought unbelievable fight here card last week. We go into an Apex fight this week before the week off. Let's get into that as well. Come on back. Thursdays with Uncle Lou. And we're back here. Main event with Uncle Lou. VSiN contributor, of course, Gablu.com. Check him out there. Sneak Tea podcast out already earlier this week on Sunday. They got Bout Business after the weigh-ins this week. Fights in Vegas. So normal Friday mid-morning About Business podcast this week as well. But last week, Lou, big numbered fight there in New Jersey of all places. Let me ask you this first before we get into some of those big fights last week. My big question for you is, did you feel at all that judging came into any of these fights or overall? Were you happy with the judging? A lot of question marks sometimes around a New Jersey judging panel.
There can be, but I don't think I had any.
You didn't have any? Okay. That's what I wanted. Just as a general, I was just curious how you thought the judging went. Because when we get to the main event, I made a astute observation on to somebody, and we'll bring it up later on. Not that the judges would be improper; they could lean a certain way, and the way that fight went in that final round.
I think that until he tried to kick when the night before they had the face-offs, he tried to kick Strickland below the belt.
Yeah, the weigh-ins or whatever.
At that point in time, the whole tide on that fight changed, and it changed drastically.
Yeah.
You mean
Strickland was kicked? Yeah.
Every person watching, Chimaev tried to kick Strickland as they were facing, and Strickland was serious, just coming at him. He was going to be calm. He was ready for a fight. And the other kid was telling, man, he was freaking look wild-eyed and tries to kick him in the jewels. Okay, yeah, no problem. But to me, that was a huge tell for him.
Yeah.
And it was also at that point in time when the market went from 450 all the way down to 380. That escalation of money on Strickland began the moment Chimaev did that kick.
Okay.
And it went towards Strickland's side. Now, it would take something gargantuan to make the U.S. public fancy Strickland over anybody.
He's a tough guy to like.
I love him. I'll tell you what. It's a shtick. He talks too straight sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes the stuff he says should be kept not said and everything, but he's a live wire, and I don't think he is behind the scenes what he is on the cameras. I know this. The dude's a wicked good fighter, and that was so much of a thrill to watch that whole thing transpire. And you could see early in the fight, even before it began, the mutual respect that was there.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
And,
I was amazed.
Everybody's like, oh, Jesus, Chimaev gave away the fight. These guys haven't ever been in a cage, okay? Guys that have been in the cage say that, and I think there's something to it. He could have waited until after the fight to hug him, but even then, it's like they lost their aura. So, hey, Strickland won. I don't think it was. I think it was close, but clearly Strickland won. I couldn't have been happier for the kid. Yeah. I'm very happy for us because we were in a no-lose situation where we could only win with Strickland. We could win a small amount should Chimaev have won.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it was amazing. We'll just start with the main event, obviously, and but I mean, just when they came out, there's just this vibe in the arena and in the room I was in. You know, and these kids that I was watching the fight with, part of the group,
they were all on Chimaev.
They were all Strickland, and they were just like, "Oh my God, $40 on Strickland." It won like $100 and something if they won it.
Good.
They kept going during the fight. Maybe we should cash out. You know, and then that fifth round came, and then just getting into the ring, and they had to have security around them.
That was all shtick.
I know, but it was just added to the moment on top of it, where they kept trying to move, and guys would be like, "No, go back there." It was just this amazing atmosphere on that final fight, right after the Van fight, which I thought was really good, also.
Oh, great fight!
Build up on top of the Van fight going into it. Then they get in there, and then that fifth round came. And I thought it was probably even. I could see it probably going against Strickland there, going into the fifth if it came down to the judges. But I said all along it's going to go to a decision. As I put the bet on that side. And then as that fight went on, that final takedown, you started to feel that maybe Strickland was losing that fight. And then just the way he got out of it and stuff, these kids were like, cash out, because they were still going to cash out at a huge number. And I looked at him and I said, keep it in there. You have a good shot at winning this because of the judges. Meaning an unlikable American, the way he talks and stuff, against a guy that's viewed very negatively in America, if you catch my drift, with what he
and
does.
overly so in the last 10 hours
Yes.
because of that kick.
So I told these kids, I go, you have a really good chance of this falling in your favor, even if Strickland does, even if that last takedown goes the other way, you still have a good chance of winning. And that's why I asked you about the judges. I'm not saying they were improper. I do feel at the end of the fight, Strickland was probably the right win. But I felt even then going into that fight, I made that comment, I was thinking it like, Strickland's winning this thing. Because no American judge is going to go with that guy when it's that close of a fight on top of it. And that's why I asked you the question on the judge.
I don't know that I agree with your reasoning.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know if it's right. I even told him, I go, you might lose this, but I'm just telling you, you want to keep this.
If they would have given it to Chimaev, that's how I would have regarded it.
I wouldn't have been
him.
upset about that either, though. That's what I'm saying.
I would have thought it was just UFC playing to their own advantage that they want him as champ, but I think he even PO'd the UFC with that stunt. I mean, that stunt was really a lot, and it was a tell, and now we're coming to find out that he had, that he was getting ready for a 205-pound fight, all this bull roar. Meanwhile, Strickland legit had a dislocated shoulder, still won the fight. So, scoreboard, baby. Great fight.
Exactly.
Great
Split decision, great win.
result. That fight worked great for us. We had the over 2.5. That was sailed to victory, so it was a fun night.
I had over 2.5, and then I even went over 3.5.
Good for you. You got
that
plus
was
money
a plus
there.
number there.
There you go.
So I did that before the fight. I was just confident it was going to a decision. I don't know why I was.
When they offer you the buyout, okay?
Yeah.
They're not trying to be your friend, okay?
Yeah.
There's an advantage for them to give you the buyout because they know the odds are favorable to you, and so why do they want to pay you $500 when they can pay you $275?
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't take it's not never, but for the most part, don't take a buyout. You got advantage. You worked hard for it.
Well, that's the thing. These kids, they don't have, they're young kids, work hard, getting their life started.
Right, and he bet 5, and now he can get out with 115.
He bet
that's
40,
hard to,
and he didn't do any other bets because he's like, this is our bet tonight, is this Strickland 40.
Well, at least
so
they know
90
that.
looked good to him right in the buyout. But
Sure.
but you can get a couple hundred because he was a plus.
And
whatever he was.
And they waited, and then they were
waited.
thankful.
Yeah, I was funny too because
And
they were like,
gosh,
cash out before
Steve,
the
you're
thing.
smart.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know, guys. Like, he might lose this, but you have a really good chance of winning this thing. So it was kind of funny to watch.
Good for you.
But
You
but
gave
then,
them good advice.
Before that, Joshua Van against the guy that the Japanese guy that is very favorable by the UFC. Like you said last week, they said it on the broadcast in the pre-fight that UFC wants a Japanese champion. Man, Joshua Van impressed me with all of that against him. He went out there and just in my eyes, just took the bulls by the horn and won that fight. And that was a fun one too.
A great fight. I mean, Tyra showed nothing but heart. Took him down a couple times. Couldn't keep him down.
Kept taking a beating and just kept doing it. Kept taking that licking. Kept on ticking.
Van, like Hokett, showed me a lot. Both guys I underestimated. I won't again.
Yeah, because that's the thing. You weren't. I'm not going to say you were. I'll use the term.
I
you
was
weren't
all
high on him.
Tyra.
Exactly.
He was on he ended up going off minus 150, and we bet him we lose 1.5 units. So that was I think our setback.
Yeah, and
there
it's just
another one. Oh yes, Buckley too.
Yeah, Buckley. I want to talk about, but Waldo Cortez Acosta there against Volkov. Volkov ends up winning that fight. I was high on Waldo going into this fight. His conditioning wasn't as bad as I thought as the later fights went on. But your thoughts on Volk? Just a tall, big dude, reaches outrageous against a shorter, stumpier Waldo on that Volkov Costa.
Yeah, I had a little bet on Volkov personally there. I like Volkov, and he's earned his shot at the title, and I hope he gets it here soon.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. You see him as championship material?
He beat Gane. He's got a decision over Gane. Gane's fighting now with Pereira. So next in line looks to be the Russian Volkov.
And then the Buckley fight I wanted to ask you about because of the movement number that happened. Mm-hmm. We got him in a plus number. I did it Thursday when you were in here last week. I like Buckley a lot, as well. And then that flip there, I woke up and saw later, sometime within the day, I saw you on Visa, ironically enough, talking about the line move. And I went, what do you mean the line moved? I mean, it went from plus, 100 and something to a negative 200 or something for Buckley. Quick movement there. What was the process behind that? Because they let the fight go off.
Well, yeah, because they looked into it and realized that, hey, there's nothing going on here. This is a perfect example of just wild, erratic, better behavior. So some guy saw the line go from Brady from 130 to 120, then 110. Now it's even. Everybody's got to get in. Somebody knows something. I don't want to be left out. No, I didn't do this in the web page. I don't think. Again, it's last week. But personally, I had Buckley at plus 160, and so when Brady got to plus 180, no brainer.
I
you
think
hit the freaking button.
I don't remember if you posted it, but you said it on the Vison. You said it on the Vison page, I believe. But you did say it.
I definitely said it. You have this option, and I'm in the take money to the bank, not EV. Even though I had advantage with Buckley, when that happens, I just take the money and run. Now, will I do it if it's plus 110 and plus 110? Maybe not.
Yeah.
But when I can go, I won 60 here or I win 80 there, I'll take it. I just won money. Next fight, please.
Yeah.
That said, I was high on Buckley. I thought he would be a very good dog and give Brady everything he could have. He gave him nothing. Buckley has no wrestling. You don't pick up wrestling early. I'm glad that fight situation happened so I could get out of it with plus money, because that was as poor a pick on Buckley as it was on JDM. And thank God Strickland came to the rescue, because that's what I remember going into this card.
Well, that's the thing. Finish strong, right?
Absolutely.
Finish strong. King Green, Jeremy Stevens. I like King Green going into this. A submission there in the first round for him. Remind me your position on King Green. I like him a lot.
I did too, but not at minus 300.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this. He wants to fight for the BMF title, and he deserves it. He's as authentic as the Diaz brothers. The dude has shown it. He's finished his last couple guys. Guy's a badass. I like him a lot too. He's real as it gets. He's respectful as there is. Bobby King Green, an OG, just like the Diaz's.
Yeah, it is a fun little fight there. That was the first fight, but getting to the prelims here really quick, Gautier against Ozzy Diaz there. If I remember correctly on Gautier, he's just a physical.
I said he was going to assassinate.
Yeah, he's got abs on tops of abs on tops of abs. I mean, the guy is just a physical specimen. But to me, he's a one type of fighter. He did not destroy him at all. It took him a little bit to get into it in the second round. I expected at least something quicker there. But I also see Gautier as he gets into tougher competition, struggling a little bit in the UFC. Am I reading too much in this with the way he doesn't dominate with the way he looks out there?
They asked Sir Sirkayev, who was earlier on the card that fought that.
We're going to talk about him
Santos.
next. Yeah.
They asked Sir Sirkayev what happens if those two get in the cage. Sir Sirkayev says that's easy money.
Exactly.
And he's right, because he just takes them down and dominates them. Gautier is a stand-up machine, but he doesn't have a well-rounded mixed martial arts weapon.
And it even showed here in this fight where I was like, if he connects with you, you're going down. I felt like that was the only thing he has.
Yeah,
out there,
we're waiting until they give him a fight that's worthy. Right now, they're giving him, scarecrows and freaking broomsticks.
Which brings it up, Sasakurov there. I got him at really good number for him going to that fight against Santos here. Third round submission for. And the reason why I had such a big number, Lou, is because I took him to submit. You actually had said that on air last week. The whole fight, I'm going, Lou, he's not even taking him to the ground. What kind of dumb thing are we doing here? Submission, not even doing anything. Boom, 4 minutes, 12 seconds, takes him down, submits him. And I look like a genius because of you.
Uncle Lou, what, did you tell the kids you had?
I did. I said, he's going to submit him.
Go.
But the whole fight, Lou, not even one takedown. And I'm sitting there going, the guy doesn't even wrestle, apparently. What the heck?
He was like, gosh.
So I want to give you props for that. Yeah, it was plus 450 there for the submission.
Way to go.
For him
I actually took Sir Sirkayev, believe it or not, into Ochoa.
Really?
Yes.
The Jose Ochoa?
Yes. And so here's a little hint for everyone. When there's an MMA lab fighter on the card and I don't bet him, that should tell you something.
Yes. You've said that before out there as well, but it's just those are fun. Just the early prelims to the prelims to the to the finals here. This was an unbelievable UFC card. I thought.
agree. It was a great card. It was and well worth the money, which was very little
Whatever
compared
it
to
is.
what we used to have. To
Yeah,
pay.
$6.99 or whatever I pay a month,
hey.
$8.99 for that or whatever I
Love
pay on that. It was so much fun last week as well.
Especially being around young kids and showing them all your wisdom. I love it.
I know, and I take credit for that. No, it's
Hey.
funny because one of the guys there goes, Steve has an inside pack on that, and I'm like, no, I come up with that on my own. I don't. But it just the But
I believe
even,
a professional should reference, but that's okay.
yeah,
You
no,
do what you gotta do.
they know. I give you.
I
credit
always
on
like
that.
my golf guys and my basketball guys. I always say their name because I don't know nothing about their.
Oh no,
sport.
I'm the first one to be
golf.
like, oh, check out the show on
Are you
Thursdays.
on any golf this week?
Yeah, well, I was going to bring that up here in
okay,
a second
good, 'cause
before
I
we get
am.
to the Apex here
Yeah.
because the PGA's out. But no, I wanted to make sure we spent some time on last week's card because it was an unbelievable fight. Your advice last week and even on your bout business. And then forget about that side of it. The fights were just amazing.
Oh,
I
the fights
thought,
were good.
and all of that stuff out there. So, but before we get into this week's Apex fight, which I look at this card and I go, okay, sure. If you want to throw this at us, I'll watch, but, see what happens. So we'll talk about that. But PGA Tour's PGA Championship has teed off this morning. You talked to your golf buddies out there and everything. And what are you looking at for top 10, top 20 finishes this week?
They had me use Shoffley -120 top 20. This is my buddy Brady Cannon at Vegas.
You got to get his outlet right. But
I'll have it here.
anybody that does golfing and stuff like that knows Mr. Cannon out there.
Yeah,
no doubt about
Brady
it. Yeah.
Cannon at LV Golfer, I want to say. Anyway, I got to reference my boy Cannon. He gave me that. I took, and I'm sure I'm gonna, because it's mine on my own. I took Tommy Fleetwood top 20 at +105. We'll see. Okay, I don't know the course and if he fits it. All these guys know all that, but here's what I saw. I saw every golf guy talking about Cameron Young, and you know what that means? No effing way I'm taking Cameron Young. No. So I wanted to find my own guy, and I gave it to Fleetwood. So we'll see. Fleetwood top 20, Shoffley top 20. That's it for me right now. I'm just going to sit back. If we might wait a round or
See
two
what
and
it
get
is.
involved with other stuff.
The weather's going to change. That's the other side of
Oh.
it. It's supposed to be rainy and windy today, or early this morning. Again, away during the day, overnight again, maybe early tomorrow morning. Then the weekend's going to be sunny and whatever.
Beautiful.
So the weather's going to change here as well. Which that's where you get into it. You go, well, who can play well in the rain to get through that and the wet conditions to get to the dry conditions? You got to kind of look at.
I got one other bet, and it's on Twitter. My buddy Dave Ross, who I do VSiN shows with every Friday morning, he's on the under, I want to say 267.5 for the total score of the tournament. And I was looking for that number, and all I could find was 266.5. And I thought, well, Moy, if I go under that, I know what's going to happen, right? It's going to go 267. He's going to win, and I'm going to look like Elmer Fudd when he turns into the sucker on cartoons. So only a few people will know what that is. So I took the over, and now I want it to hail. I took over 266.5. So though I have two, I have two top 20s in that. I wanted to get that.
You said Shoffley was top 20?
-120 I paid, but I got a +105 on Fleetwood.
Yeah, so he's -2 right now through hole 14.
What's the leader
for Shoffler? They're all right there, -3.
Beautiful.
I'm sorry, Minwoo Lee has just dropped one in for a -4 as a leader there. So I think today and tomorrow you're going to see low scores because of the weather.
Higher scores.
Higher score. I'm sorry, higher scores.
And then the weekend they're going to come in. They're going to be shooting jarts, making me sweat.
They're going to mow down that grass a little
Bastards.
bit to get it all done and all that.
They're going to make me work for it.
The big guys are just getting out there. Like Brooks Koepka's 1 under right now as well. So the big name guys are just starting to get out there or coming out later on as well. Throughout, like John Rahm's even. I saw a lot of people going into this. Did your guys say anything about, did Cannon say anything about Jordan Spieth at all? Because he's really hyped going into this tournament as well. So I'm just curious.
He sent me his write-up, and I didn't read it.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you didn't. You just thought what you wanted?
I saw Schauffele as his best bet, and that's all I had to say.
That's a solid bet there as well. But Lou, this weekend, we have UFC before they take a week off here. Then the week after that, they're going to Macau, of all places. Macau, whatever it is, over in China. After that fight as well. But this weekend, we got an Apex fight coming our way here. So I'm going to say a little bit of a breather fight card here, meaning just not stacked like last week's was out there. Here, we do have some guys that I recognize, like Cody Brundage in this fight. Andre Petrosky, they're battling it out. I know them as well. Several women fighters I've seen before. We know your opinions on those. Maybe we have a fight in those as well. But Lou, for the early prelims or the prelims here, are there any fights you're looking at for this Apex fight?
Yeesh, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a couple of changes because Gant lost his opponent. Now he gets someone new. Erslan and Tokos, those are, two cans going to fight it out. One guy lost his
in the
last
light heavyweight
3.
battle there?
Yeah, I mean, Ketlin Vieira and Cavalcanti, arguably one of the better fights on the card. Cavalcanti's bigger, and she's
as a women's fight,
6 years younger, and she has some physical advantages, but she's a little bit of a favorite. Vieira's had better opposition. I think Brundage is live against Petrosky, and if I was looking to bet anything on this main card, it would be Brundage as an underdog, and it would be the first fight, Cagliari as a favorite. This girl Bannon from Ireland is really not very good. She's, I'm sure, a nice girl, but she's not a very good UFC fighter.
What do you mean? The Irish can fight, Lou? Come on.
Oh, yeah, no question.
Stance.
And she's game. She's willing.
Is it Cagliari?
Cagliari's-
She's a minus 258 favorite going into this fight.
You use her in a parlay piece, and you spin her with one of the fighters I'm going to tell you here in the main card where I'm focusing.
But you said Cody Brundage as an underdog?
Yeah, I think so, because this Petrosky, he gets all swole up. He's slow. He's not that good, and he's BJJ. What's Brundage? Wrestler. Decent hands. And Brundage has had some of the most unorthodox, wildest, goofiest results in his fights you'd ever seen. But he's a dad. He works his butt off. He's fighting for his family. He's a good story, and I'm pulling for him. And as an underdog, this might be a decent spot for him.
Okay, perfect. Because I like him a lot, and I don't know the matchup side of it, but I like him a lot. And generally, I don't fall in love with wrestlers too often, from that side and that. So that's the prelim fights there as well. But you mentioned that Vieira and Cavalcanti fight as well, the women's fight there. Minus 162 favorite there for Jacqueline. Jacqueline C, as I'll call her, since I can't say it, in that fight. Over under on this one, Lou, 2.5. Minus
400 to the
minus
over.
580.
I mean, it's a broken record. Every women's fight, we talk about the same stuff.
Just to bring it up there. So let's get to the main cards here as well. Don't forget, prelims start at 2 p.m. here from the Vegas Apex as well. In this fight here, you got a kind of an even fight here. A Kazakhstan fighter against a United States guys. Williams versus Nikolay V.
Veretennikov and Chaos Williams. Chaos Williams, big power, explosive, but doesn't fight very often. Really inactive. His last fight was a loss in June of last year, for crying out loud. Veretennikov, 4 years older at 36, going to be a couple inches taller with a sure wrestling advantage. I think he's going to need to take Williams down at least later in the fight. He's going to have to weather the first round from Williams, and I think if he can, his dual fight ability, meaning he can strike and wrestle and grapple, I think that's going to be the advantage here. I like Veretennikov in the fight a little bit.
Perfect. And I show him, it's kind of a weird
plus
thing.
100.
Plus 100 right now for him as well, for you dog bettors out there. Then you got Timmy Kwamba and Bernardo Sopaj.
Sopaj, a Swede, coming in, last fought January a year ago. And so a year and 4 or 5 months for this guy. What's been going on since then? Kwamba's going to be taller. He's going to be longer. He's been in with better, and yet he's an underdog. So interesting. Maybe lean towards Kwamba a little bit here.
On this side as well. Also a plus number fighter, plus 130 right now. For Kwamba going to this bantamweight fight. Apex, smaller cage here at the Apex.
Yep.
Bantamweights, what's the weight on that?
135,
okay.
and Sopaj comes in from Sweden to fight Kwamba, who doesn't have to travel. There's a few of those fights here. Erslan has to travel in to fight Tokos, Viana to Ardeline as well, Barres to Garule. And sometimes those are the guys I watch on the scale to see if that travel might have affected.
Yeah, affects him into that. Christian Edwards, is he by chance a fill-in fighter here against Bukakis?
Yeah, against Bukakis. And so there's no comment on that.
Yeah,
fight.
perfect. And then Malcolm Wellmaker versus Juan Diaz here, bantamweight bout again. U.S. versus Peru fighters.
Yeah, Wellmaker's got natural power, and he's good, but he's not a very good wrestler. Diaz from Peru, I know he's a banger, but he trains in Tijuana, so it's not like he's got a big travel into this thing. I think he's dangerous here. Wellmaker lost his last fight to a guy that showed up on short notice, like 8 days' notice, fought Wellmaker and won. So while Wellmaker is a future star, he's going to be taller, he's going to be longer. I don't know enough about Juan Diaz to know if I could take him against Wellmaker or not. This is a fight I'll watch and learn about Diaz.
Yeah, minus 278 for Wellmaker, but since you brought that up, over under 2.5 rounds here, under minus 145 in this fight. You don't know enough about Diaz. Does that mean a submission artist or a knockout artist, I guess, between these two guys?
I'll tell you after the fight.
Are my questions,
I know
right?
the Diaz has never been finished.
Yeah.
That's what I can tell you.
And then Duho Choi, Daniel Santos battling it out. Featherweight fight, South Korea, Brazilian. That's quite a different techniques here for these guys battling it out in the featherweights.
Another really inactive guy. Choi hasn't fought since December of 24. He took the whole year off. And he's now 34. Santos, 31, is going to be 3 inches the shorter man. He is going to be the man without the reach, but he's more explosive. He's physical. He's as strong or stronger, and he has a great inside game. Choi wants to keep it up and standing, and I don't trust Choi. I like Daniel Santos a good deal here. But he's got to be what, minus 170?
Well, 162. I was going to ask you, what did this open at? I think the money's going toward Choi, at least a little bit. Pick him. Okay, so minus 162 now. Okay, for Santos here in this
And I
fight.
agree with that flow. I think Daniel Santos should be the favored fighter.
Over under 2.5 again, minus 135 to the under again in this fight here as well. So I'm intrigued by that. Those two unders, not necessarily to play them, but more side of what kind of fights we could see with two guys that don't fight very often.
Yeah, if you wanted to take, I mean, that price on Santos isn't terrible, and so you want to take him via the finish, okay, but it isn't terrible at minus 162. You'd use him in a parlay, perhaps.
Yeah. Okay. Then we got the main event here: featherweight bout. Arnold Allen. And then against Costa here as well for the main event.
This fight also opened pick'em now. It went up to Arnold minus 195. Now Arnold is
minus 148.
Is minus 148, 154.
And
He's 132 at Circa. Wow. He's 125 at the Superbook. Oh. Shop around, okay? No so it went pick.
It's a big difference, Lou.
Early money jumped Allen, as it should have. I was hoping it wouldn't because Costa's been on fire lately, and I thought money would go to him, thus giving us a price on Allen that would be plus. No, nothing. It wasn't to be. So Allen went up to as high as 95, and then midweek now, public's starting to get in because they know this Costa and they've seen him fight. He just finished Dan Ige in his last fight. Ige'd never been finished, so he's riding tons of momentum. Arnold Allen's lost 3 of his last 4, but against freaking Evloev, Max Holloway, and one other killer top 3 fighter in the division. No. Arnold Allen's the class in this fight. Arnold Allen is released on my webpage. We're all over Arnold Allen. And the article came out early on Monday, Tuesday. I said, hey, he's 165, but it's going down. Wait and get the lowest price. I see 125 and 130. Yeah. Go find it.
Yeah, minus 148 on DraftKings to let you guys know where we see that number at as well. Over under in this fight is 4.5 to the over, minus 145 going to this as well. So they're at least telling you a decision here between these two guys as well.
I'm not so sure. Allen's badass. Allen's bad dude.
As a featherweight? Knockout potential?
No, I would
strength-wise?
think it would.
Okay.
I would think it would be take him into the championship rounds where Costa has yet to fight, tire him out, and maybe sub him.
Let's say the length of it on time. Yeah, more of a submit. That's why I asked that.
He's a
'cause
wrestler. So.
As a featherweight, I was like, really? In a featherweight, a knockout type power? Kind of surprised me a little bit there as well. So, Lou.
No, but at featherweight, Daniel Santos in the fight before got knockout power. Don't miss it.
Yes, that is true. That is very true for that and that featherweight bout. So, 5 p.m. is the main card here from Las Vegas, Meta Apex. Then a week off next week. But, Lou, get you next week. We'll probably have a pretty good clue, or at least battling it out here to see who's going to go to the NHL final next week. Some clarification as we get started on the college baseball league championships, conference championships as well. Going into that weekend.
Yeah, but next week's a week off for the UFC, not for me and Steve.
Yeah.
I'm coming, and we're talking about baseball and hockey.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun. So come join us. Uncle Lou joins us on Thursdays. Catch him on Friday morning, VSiN.
VSiN, yes.
There as well,
VSiN
Gamblu.com.
by the Bucks.
Follow him at Gamblu, folks. I can't stress that enough for those of you that you're sitting at a party and you can just throw some knowledge out there as you see it.
Or it might get you thrown out the back door. You never know.
So we'll see you next week, Lou. For
Thank
everybody
you.
else, I'll be back tomorrow. Schedule releases NFL. Dale might join us. He's having another grandkid tomorrow, Lou.
good for
So
him.
he's got to do some with the other grandkids, drop them off at school and stuff. So
Oh,
either way, I'll be here to get you guys through it, and appreciate it as always. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.